Hi again, everyone. We are here with Martin Greif. Yes, I got it right. The second time I got it right. We are here with Martin Greif from SiteTuners, the president of SiteTuners. Martin Greif is a conversion rate optimization expert, author, speaker, entrepreneur, senior executive, team leader, and the kind of guy who likes to see everyone win. Thank you for being here with us, Martin. Martin brings more than 25 years of sales and marketing experience to SiteTuners, where he is responsible for driving revenue growth, establishing and nurturing partner relations, and creating value for SiteTuners' broad customer base. Martin's presentation is going to be about proving best practices by testing.
Well, thank you. That's a great introduction. Although I think we have to work on that whole over 25 years. You made me sound like I'm old. Okay.
So. No, experience is everything. Experience is everything.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, let me share my screen. Thank you for that introduction. And let me just do a quick check. Can you see the screen okay?
Yes. All good. Perfect.
Okay. All right. So with that in mind, thank you. Good luck. Uh-oh. Now I'm worried.
No pressure. No pressure.
All right. Well, first off, thank you all for joining today. And we're going to talk about how to prove some best practices by testing. And I'm going to give you some very specific things that pretty much anybody can test. So with that in mind, let's start with, I'm going to give you a second about SiteTuners, and I literally mean like a second or two. And then we're going to dive into the 3 questions that every web page has to answer for your visitors to convert, and then how you test this stuff. So SiteTuners, we do one thing and one thing only. We basically are here to help increase conversions and grow your business. We're a strategic agency, which means not only do we help with testing, but we've actually changed people's business models if need be. And our clients range from people doing less than $1 million a year to, we have people who are multi-billion-dollar corporations and everything in between. And that's it about us. All right, now it's about you. 3 questions that your web page needs to answer to convert. All right. And Richard, let me just check. Sound check okay? Everything good?
Everything is perfect.
All right, just wanted to double check because once I'm on a roll, boy, you never know, right? All right.
Oh, yeah.
So 3 questions you have to answer. Am I in the right place? How do I feel about the site? And what am I supposed to do here? When somebody lands on a page, I don't care if it's your home page or a landing page, they basically ask themselves these questions, and they ask themselves these questions as they go from page to page to page within your site. All right, let's dissect each one of these a little bit. Am I in the right place? Well, here's the question. That am I in the right place is all about the upstream messaging to the page. So if your upstream messaging says one thing and your page doesn't match, okay, that causes cognitive friction. Basically, you're forcing someone to think. And one of our mantras is, don't make me think, all right? So you have to align upstream messaging with their on-page experience. So let me give you an example here. I did a search, a Google search on my phone for solitaire diamond rings. This is an actual ad, solitaire engagement ring, solitaire diamonds, diamond exchange, and then it goes into explaining a little bit. And so the question, am I in the right place? And this is exactly what I saw when I landed here. Now, I'm a guy. I don't know one kind of ring from another if it bit me in the butt, okay? So I'm assuming these are solitaires, okay? But I, honest to God, don't know because I don't care about engagement rings. I'm married. I didn't care about an engagement ring when I was picking it out, all right? All that matters was she happy, right? Having said that, you're making me think. I got to look at these and go, all right, what am I looking at? Does this make sense? Am I in the right place? Let me give you an example of how to do it correctly. So same exact, search. I've got a different, one that came up, a different result. All right, solitaire diamond rings, and then I land on a page, and it says solitaire diamond rings, looking for the perfect song. So now I can assume that there's solitaire diamond rings. There's 25 results here, and I know this is going to sound terrible, and so forgive me for saying this, But you have to design your website as if your visitor was lazy and or stupid, because you don't know what they know or don't know. So you have to spoon feed it to them so that when they do that search, am I in the right place? They're not at all confused. How do I feel about this site? That's the second question. And so you want to have something that, obviously we say well-executed design, use trust elements and so on. But I did a review earlier today and I'm looking at this poor person's website and it looked broken. It wasn't broken, but it just looked a little off because things were out of place. Well, you know what? If your website looks broken or makes someone feel uncomfortable, they're not going to buy from you. They're going to be hesitant about putting in their credit card information. They're going to be hesitant about potentially, putting in their personal information, right? They're going to be hesitant about signing up for a subscription. So the how do I feel about the site is very important. Here's an example. This is a US example now. The first one I was showing was an Australian example. Here's a US example. And it turns out, and I did not know this, but it turns out that you can buy barbecue grills for this is a $2,000 barbecue grill. I mean, I didn't even know they were that expensive, right? I mean, I have one outside, but it's, a few $100s. I don't grill that much. But it turns out you can buy these things for, there's almost $2,000. So how do I feel about this site? Well, it's got a modern kind of design, but other than that, I don't know anything about these people that would make me feel like I would trust them. So let me compare this same exact barbecue grill, right? This Weber Summit E470 for almost $2,000, $1,899. Here's a competing site, same exact grill, same exact price. But look what they've got. They've got a phone number in the top right-hand corner. And I will tell you, we've tested this time and time again. Phone numbers in the top right-hand corner on a desktop, a phone icon on mobile, by the way, is one of the biggest trust symbols on the face of the planet. And it doesn't matter what country you're in. This helps conversions. But you'll also notice they've got a better accredited symbols, 100% protected, Inc. 5000. They've got some, a 5-star rating here. So if you were going to put in a credit card to basically spend almost $2,000, which one of these two sites would you feel more comfortable putting your credit card into? Do you trust the first one that basically said, here's a grill, here you go, right? Or this one that basically says, in lots of ways, you can trust us. There's lots of ways that you can trust us. So how do I feel about it is important, and this one passed that test. What am I supposed to do here, all right? Directing visitor attention through visual emphasis. We are visual creatures, all right? And so you want to have clear call to actions and navigation elements. So here's a company that we helped in Australia, and they basically sell kitchen pots, pans, all sorts of stuff, right? And it's got some trust on here, but what they sell here, it looks like, just looking at this, is, I won't pronounce this right, Le Creuset, I guess. Le Creuset. I don't know how my French is not that good, so And then they sell Kasumi knives. Well, that's basically, and then I have to scroll down to see what else they sell. So we turn that into this with them, all right? And we increase the trust a little bit. Am I in the right place? The largest range of kitchenware online, superior service, delivered fast, free shipping, Australian family business, trusted by 500,000 clients. But look at what's on here. We've actually got it based on what they sell the most of or what's the most profitable. And they can very easily, as a visitor, say, yeah, I'm here for bakeware or cookware or whatever it is. And they even had sub-level navigation underneath it. Now, there's a couple key points that I'd make here. And because, again, we've tested this. And this, again, I apologize in advance. This is the whole designing as if the visitor was lazy and or stupid. You'll notice in the bakeware and all of these, there's multiple pictures. Flat bakeware, there's this rectangle thing, and there's round ones, okay? We've tested that if they just showed one picture, maybe a flat one, people look at it and they go, oh, that's what they sell, and they don't go on. I wanted a round one. When you use category level images, people go, oh, they've got a wider selection. And because they've got a wider selection, they're willing to go that next step deeper, all right? And so this absolutely made a major impact on everything from their bounce rate to the time on site, to their click-through rate, to their conversion rate. So this is making it easy for someone to know what it is I'm supposed to do when I land on a page, right? So how do we put these best practices to test? What can you do today, all right, or tomorrow, to start to test things? I'm going to give you 4 things that you can do, all right? You can use a static versus a rotating banner. We're going to talk about that. You're going to use visual navigation. We're going to make it easy to read or take action on mobile, all right? And so I tried to mix some mobile and some desktop things in here, obviously, and place trust symbols in the header. So let's talk about, these things one at a time. So static versus rotating banners. So what's the point here? We are literally animals. And why does that matter? Thousands of years ago, when we were sitting in our cave, eating our hunk of meat, around the fire, when there was movement was potentially a danger signal. And it's like, and I know you're seeing the screen big, so you see me a little and small, but basically it's, oh my God, what's that? The bear's coming to eat me. Oh my God, right? So it's a potential danger signal. So putting rotating banners on your site basically creates cognitive friction again, and it stops me from paying attention to what you want me to pay attention to. So what do you measure? You should measure the bounce rate, your conversion rate, and the number of pages. Basically what you're going to see if you have a rotating banner, which a lot of people do, or you have some kind of video that's playing auto playing, you've got stuff that's happening that's got movement, you should see the bounce rate go down, you see the conversion rate go up, you should see them spending more time and going through more pages on your site, right? That's kind of obvious. Now, here's the thing with video. People say, but that can't be the rule all the time. Well, it's not the rule all the time. There are some exceptions to the rule, but for 99% of you, get rid of the rotating banner. If you want to have movement, the best place to have movement is in an ad on somebody else's site, because there you want to interrupt them, right? So if you think about a Facebook ad that's got video in it or something like that, what you're trying to do, that's interrupt-driven marketing. That's like TV advertising. Somebody's watching a show and all of a sudden up comes, hey, buy this, do that, whatever it is. Same thing. You need that motion to capture their attention. But once they get to your site, you don't want to be, driving them nuts. You want them to potentially just look at the site and be able to very easily, without thinking, just do what you want them to do. So for example, here, this, you can't really tell, but on the left-hand side, this was a rotating banner, versus on the right side, it was simpler. It's like buy skincare, buy makeup, buy hair. And there was no question about what it is, somebody was supposed to do here. This makes it very, very easy to go from, all right, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And we've measured it. There's a thing called banner blindness. People, after a couple iterations, don't even pay attention to what your next message is. And if you've got people in your organization who say, well, but we need to have this on the homepage and we need to have that on the homepage, the answer is no. The only thing you need to have on your homepage is the things that are actually going to make you money and drive more conversions. It's about the visitor. It's not about other people's opinions within your organization. All right, I've pretty much banged that into the ground. So let's talk about the next one. Visual navigation as on a homepage instead of a mashup of contents and offers. All right, and again, same thing. Make it easy for me to see what it is you want me to do. Okay, and that'll allow me to navigate easily to the thing I want to buy. All right, or to sign up for, or to fill in my information as a lead for. So what do you measure? You measure, bounce rate, conversion rate, time on page. So all of these things. Now, obviously, because our talk today is about e-commerce, all of my examples are e-commerce examples, but these same principles apply if you have another section of your website where you're maybe capturing leads for email marketing. It's the same concepts apply. So what are we talking about? Visual navigation. This is somebody that we helped. On the left-hand side, you wouldn't even know that this was actually an e-commerce site, because it's basically everything that she could potentially put up there, she did put up there. And there's all sorts of text. That text on the bottom, which is like the SEO text, people don't want to read that. That's like an army of words marching around the page looking for meaning. Nobody reads this stuff. And then they've got, like a mashup of all sorts of stuff here. Versus on the right-hand side, it's really clear. They've got a banner. It says who they are, what they do. There's tons of trust in here because we did that too, right? And it's really clear. Do you want face care, hair care, body care? And I will tell you that this change from the left to the right increased their conversions and their revenue by 277%. So if your website even remotely looks like the version on the left, you need to make it on the right. And you can absolutely positively test this, and see the difference, and you will absolutely see increased revenue. So this does a few things. Obviously it's making it clear with visual navigation what we want you to do, but it answers the question, am I in the right place, right? Because it's got the natural products for black skin and hair. So if that's who you are, you're in the right place. If that's what you're looking for, how do I feel about it? It's got a phone number, it's got trust symbols, it's got all that. What am I supposed to do here? This new site or this new page answers all of those questions. And again, that's something you can test. All right, next on the list, easy to read and take action on mobile. All right. People get frustrated. Let's be realistic on this. I mean, here's the thing: you don't know, really what kind of mood somebody's in by the time they come to your website. They might have just had a fight with their spouse. The dog might have just, made a mess on the carpet. One of the kids might have been obnoxious. You have no idea how much patience they have before they come to your website. So you need to make it really easy for them to be able to read and to have calls to action and so on. So let me give you an example of a before and after, but know that you're measuring the click-through rate, you're measuring the conversion rate, you're measuring abandonment rate. So in this instance, this is the add to cart and buy, all right? So here they've got a header on the top, and I scrolled down a little ways because I just wanted to get to this part. I get to this and I'm like, well, what is it that I'm looking at here? They've got big buttons, add to cart or a call to order. And I will tell you, by doing this, by making this really easy, all right, the conversion rate went up. And you'll also notice, instead of whatever gobbledygook stuff that they've got down here, they've made this really simple, all right? And you're missing some of what's upstream on this, but you can see how easy everything is to read. And this is even on a screenshot, all right? This was taken directly off of my mobile phone, all right? And so this is extremely easy to be able to know what to do, easy to read, and so on, okay? All right, trust symbols in the header. We're getting to my absolute favorite thing. This next one is without a doubt my favorite example. All right, so why do you want to do this? You need to think about this. When someone goes to buy something in a store, they don't want to feel hassled, right? They want to feel like they're in control. They want to feel like they're safe, right? And if you've gone into a major mall, okay, and you wander around and you feel safe and you walk into a store, they may say, can we help you? But everything's marked out. It might be, the men's department's over here, the women's department's over here, all of this stuff, you feel safe. So people ask them, wanting to feel like they're in control, all right, and they're not being sold, they are able to buy. So trust symbols in the header help you increase your conversion rate, your bounce rate, and your time on site. And again, these are the kind of things that you can measure very easily. So with that in mind, let me give you a before and after. And so this is a weight loss product, all right? And we did a bunch of different things with these people, but this is one example of it. On the left was the before. And you'll notice there is next to no trust on here whatsoever on the left-hand side. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, up in the top, right, there's 233 and 75 plus customers, quality guaranteed, formulated in US, phone number. These are trust symbols in the header, all right, on a desktop version. And then they had money back guarantee. They added that. They've got the Norton Secure sign on here. So, but these trust symbols in the header, why am I so adamant that? Here's the thing. you don't know what page they're going to land on your website. All right. I mean, especially if they're searching from SEO or somebody linked to a page on your website, you have no idea where they're going to wind up. So by having trust symbols in your header, it actually elevates the trust for the entire website. And what's interesting about these trust symbols, they made them all up. These were created out of thin air. Now they had those number of clients and more, and they were really proud of their guarantee, their quality, and they did have it formulated in the US and the phone, but those are made up trust symbols. Now the Norton guarantee is not, the money back guarantee is, right, on it, but you'll notice here, this answers all of the questions. Am I in the right place? How do I feel about this? And what am I supposed to do here? Made it really simple. Order your supply now. There's no confusion whatsoever about what it is you're supposed to do on this site. So I would strongly urge you to consider trust elements in your header. The other thing that you can do and that you can test is a value statement underneath your logo here, 6 to 10 words that basically say who you are and why they should do something with you. Again, you don't know what page they're going to land on your website. So I know you've been running a little behind here, so I promised them that I'd try to make up their time for them. So here's what we've done. I've literally written the book on this subject. It was published May of this year. It finally made it onto Amazon about a month ago. So if you want to search for it on Amazon, you can. Or if you want to buy it directly from the publisher, if you just go to SiteTuners.com/book, it'll take you to our publisher. I'm also more than happy to connect with you on LinkedIn. And if we can help you in any way, shape, or form, let us know. Our goal, as I said in the beginning, is to help people increase their conversion rates and improve their results. So. All right. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Marty. It was an amazing presentation.
Well, thank you.
So many things to implement. So many little bites of knowledge. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to do what I could to make it really easy for people. So we tried to put nuggets there. I don't know if we have time for for a question or not, but if we don't, I'm okay with that because I know you were running a little late. It's all up to you. Okay.
No, we do have one question, so I would like to address this. Mm-hmm. Sarah Mannix, thank you for the question. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna read it out loud. It's, I have a client who used the Norton Guaranteed and it immediately lifted their conversions, but after 3 months, there was no difference between having it or not. Any idea why conversions would change over time?
Yeah, so here's the thing. So we've actually seen something like that before, and here's what happens when you do the original Norton guarantee or use trusted sites or any of these guarantees, and you do an A/B test. What you will see is what's absolutely happening. We run tests like that all the time. As a matter of fact, we were running a test with OmniConvert for a client doing that same kind of thing, with a trust, and you see the initial list. But here's what happens. You then go live with whatever the winner is, right? But the world didn't stay the same. So and I'll make up numbers. Let's say you got to a 2% conversion rate. I don't care what the number is. And it was 1.5% before. And over time, you went back down to 1.5%. Here's what really happened. It's not that the Norton guarantee stopped working. It's that other bad things were happening. What would have happened, and because we've had to rerun tests, to say, well, what happened is that new down to 1.5. If you didn't have the Norton guarantee on it, it might have been 1.0. So the world keeps changing. So your conversion rates, as we all know, unfortunately, they go up, they go down, right? The only way to know what's happening at any point in time is to rerun a test to see what's going on. So I hear you, I feel your pain, but it's not that Norton failed you, it's that other things changed. I promise you that, okay?
All right, thank you. Thanks a lot for the presentation and for your answers. And yeah, we'll keep in touch, Marty.
We're here whenever you need us. Thanks for
Right.
inviting me. Take
Take
care,
care.
everyone. All right.
Bye.
Bye all.
And see you guys a little bit later with our CEO, Valentin, right after this break.